Hello everyone, Alex here. Unfortunately, my computer is still at the repair shop, but I have a good one for you today. It's going to be how to create footnotes in Revit. For that, we're going to create a couple of share parameters. Then we're going to create a key schedule, and we're going to use those share parameters in that key schedule. And finally, we're going to format our footnotes so they look nice and clean, just like this. See you in Revit. And I'm going to show you how to create those footnotes, right, in Revit, because it can be quite complex. But this is an easy way to do it, and that way you keep it together with your fire pump schedule. So the way you do it is you first need to create a couple of share parameters for this schedule. One for the note number and one for the note text. Okay, so for that you come here to manage, and then you go to share parameters, and then we make sure that we are referencing our share parameter file. Then we go to plumbing, and now we need to create one. I mean, in this case it should probably be fire protection, so let's go to fire protection, and then let's add our parameter. So new, and then there's a certain syntax that we should be following just to be consistent. So that syntax should be AJS, so that we identify that is ours, then SCH because it's a schedule parameter, then footnotes because it's a footnotes parameter, and then fire pump, right? And then number because this is going to be the first column. Okay, this is going to be the note number. Now we grab this to save a little time. This is going to be a text parameter, so we find it under common text. Okay, here's our first parameter. Now we just go new. Now our second parameter is going to be the same thing, but instead of the number, it's going to be the note text, and it's also a text parameter. Now we go OK, and we go OK. So now we have those two parameters there, and we want to create is a dumb key schedule so we can type things in, just text. And to create a key schedule is very simple. It's like any other schedule. You just come here to schedules, you go new schedules and quantities, and we're going to select a category that we never use. So for example, planting is a great example, right? Because we never have planting in our model, because we don't want to create any conflicts, right? So we couldn't use like pipes because that's going to be all over the place and going to create mistakes. So we go with planting because we don't use that ever. And now we make sure we select schedule keys because that's what we want. Okay, we definitely don't want planting style schedule to be our name, right? We want this to be fire pump schedule, and then for the key name we can use fire pump. Then we click OK, and then what you do is you remove key name, and then you go new share parameter, and then we look for our parameter. So select, you go to fire protection, and then here it is. This is the one for the number, so we add the number. We make sure you group it under plumbing just to keep them all under plumbing, and then you add another parameter, share parameter. You find it under fire protection, and this one's going to be the one for the note text. So you go OK, OK, and now you're creating a parameter that has a footnote number and a footnote text. Now you go OK. That's our new schedule, right? Let me stretch this up a little bit. Say like that. So this is just our title and then our headers, but we have no data rows yet. So you come here to insert data row, and then here goes your first note. You can do one dot, and then you type your first note. I'm not going to type it because I already have them here in a little list, so I'm just going to paste them, but you get the idea. So provide with 8-inch minimum concrete pad. Could probably be 6 inches, but let's just go safe for now because we're pricing. Then you want to add another note. You simply stand here and you say insert data row. Boom, here it is. Now you can type 2 dot, and then you insert your second note. Either you type it or you copy from a CAD file or from a PDF or from a Word file, wherever you find your note. There it is. Now we're going to add a third note. So insert data row, and that's 3 dot, and then paste. And now our last one, which is number 4. We definitely want to provide our pump with a full-size bypass and test header. And just for the sake of it, should be a given, but you always want to install closely following manufacturer's recommendation. So after doing this, what you want to do is you come here to appearance, right? And then you hide the title, you keep the headers, right? Click OK, and then your headers here, you don't want anything, and then here you just type notes. So notes, right? And then what you can do is already have a template for it. So because right now, if you were to drop it here, let's go ahead and find it, right? We know our thing is called fire pump schedule. By the way, we should probably rename that, because our pump schedule, our actual fire pump schedule, is called by a consistent name, so we know that this is a schedule and it's a sheet schedule. That's why it has an S at the beginning. Modeling schedules have an M. So all this are modeling schedules, and then this are sheet schedules. So what we want to do is our fire pump footnotes, we want them to appear side by side with the schedule. So let's just grab this name. Let's go to our fire pump schedule for the footnotes, and let's rename this, instead of schedule, footnotes. And then now they're one on top of each other, so it's hard to miss. Now let's go back to our sheet. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If we drop this here, right now, this is how it's going to look like, because by default, that's what key schedules look like. So instead of dropping this here, which looks obviously very bad, right? That's not the way they should look. What we want to do is we come to our footnote schedules, and then under template, you apply this AJS footnotes template. Go OK. And now just like that, when we come back here, this is looking really good. Obviously, you know, we want to tighten this up a little bit, maybe bring it up. You know, you want to keep the same distance that you have up here, down here. So maybe we can bring it up a little bit more, like that. And now we have our footnotes. You want to definitely stretch this to match that. And then, you know, in the future, what you're going to do is you can just come here and just copy those, boom, and you paste them into your project, and you already have your schedules. Now, if you're enjoying this type of content, please like the video down there. Just go there and boop, click. It helps the video get found. Share in social media, and if you subscribe to the channel, you don't miss any of our new videos.